Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, 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 and welcome. Oh, I said you're live. Hello, hello, hello. Keep it going.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. What's up, Myka the man?
I'm chilling, Stevie Stacks. How you doing, man?
Good, good. And this is episode, I believe, 337.
I think 338 because I dropped
338?
one.
Yeah.
337 or 338. Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, whatever. We'll figure it out. It'll be on the thing.
Yeah.
Of your favorite short-term, mid-term, long-term, PadSplit podcast in the world, coming at you from Fort Worth and Arlington, Texas.
Let's go, man. So you just got back from Mexico. How's that?
Yeah, man. I was there 2 weeks. I was there 2 weeks. It was a long trip, man. It was 2 weeks somewhere, You think like, oh, cool, once I get, financially, what's it called? Financial freedom, I'll go travel. I'll be somewhere for a month. I don't know, man. I think a week's a good enough
Yeah.
time period to go somewhere. A week's
I
pretty
agree,
good.
bro.
2 weeks, that's pushing it. You're like, oh man, I'm still here. I'm still,
Yeah.
I'm still.
Bro, I went back home for 7 days for Thanksgiving and I felt the same way. After a week, you're like, yeah, it's time to go home, man.
It's the-
You gotta get back to your own bed, living out of a suitcase. Yeah, bro, it's time to go home.
Right, right. No, but one thing, I touched base with you. I was like, hey man, we could learn something from this third world Mexican barbershop that I went to that's out of someone's living room, because they got the upsells going on. So we're there, with the kiddos getting the kid our 1-year-old his first professional haircut because my wife had given him a little haircut. But this is like his first sitting in a barber chair haircut, you know what I'm saying? And that whole deal. And but behind her, she had all kinds of things. You want a drink, you want a beer, you want some chips, you want some hair extensions, all you got toys for the kids. I was like, man, every customer is like 10 sales. I was like, dude, we can learn from this. And what did you
Hmm.
how did you reply?
Oh, you can get that at Pookie's in the hood. Hey, it's the same thing, man. It's just in Mexico. It's the same hustle, bro.
What's your pleasure?
Straight up. We got what you need for real. Like, hey, everybody knows that barber shop, that barber in the hood. You know what I'm saying? You go over there, you can get your hair cut, you can buy whatever you need for the time being and go about your business, you know?
And
You
get
know,
you a baggie.
yeah, baggy, whatever it is you like. In America, we try to, in Mexico, they allow you to hustle. I don't know though. I don't know because here where you got to get licensed and all that, man. Somebody who ain't got time to get licensed, man, they cutting out of their hair and out of their damn bathroom and they making their money, man.
Hmm. Yeah.
Straight up.
It was cool. I just and just thinking of doing, stuff like that in our own business, the upsells. That's a big thing because
Hmm.
like I was saying, every client is 10 sales instead of just thinking of, oh, it's just the one sale. They're gonna rent a room a night at my place and then they're gonna leave and that's it. You got to figure out ways to sell them some more stuff.
Yeah, you see the space Airbnb just hopped into, right? The groceries.
Oh.
Yeah, they have a little feature now. You can I haven't turned it on. I keep getting the emails about it, but like yeah, you can do the grocery thing. They'll deliver the groceries for you. So, Airbnb's hopping into that space. I remember a while ago, I forgot we had an upsell guy on our podcast where
Hmm.
you like he upsells stuff. You can upsell stuff in your Airbnb through his link or whatever. And I always wonder like why Airbnb never got into it, but they're getting into it now, like for the grocery thing. So, but I don't know how much you can charge for it. Plus, they're taking their 15% now. So,
I might
yeah,
try it at one of the units just to see what
yeah,
happens.
yeah.
I know because back in the day, Sean Rosijic would talk about, selling the popcorn packages and the,
Hmm.
candies and sodas, stuff like that. To me, it was always, it was already hard enough to get the cleaners to do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then to ask them, hey, could you go in there and inventory the popcorns that they use and this and that? See, or
Yeah.
they'll be taking the popcorns themselves. I don't know. I'm not saying that they do that, but You know how people are. But it just to me it was like it just added layers of like more logistics on top of what was already a
Yeah.
challenging situation. Trying that was back when we were trying to find good cleaners and going through them,
Yeah.
and now you're gonna ask them to do more things. Now you already want them to do, of course, all the cleaning. You want them to do all the inventory and then you want them to charge the ring batteries and you want them to check the
Yeah.
batteries and the remote. And there's like so much stuff. And then you're gonna ask them to like check how many popcorns and sodas you sold and made a few bucks on. Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
it seemed like too much. And we talked about putting vending machines in the Airbnbs, but then again, you have to go collect what changes in there and all that stuff. But I mean, there's ways to do this. I just thought that was pretty creative. Someone that has a little barbershop, but hey, I'm gonna make money every way I can.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't fully against the vending machine business and inside of an Airbnb, especially if a person who already runs one, who just starts a side hustle like a little Airbnb and puts one of the vending machines. Man, my boy doing six figures off his, but he has them in hospitals.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, damn, you putting he's like, yeah, I just get a hospital contract, man. Get a couple of those. He goes, the only thing is if they stop working, you got to send a tech out. But he goes, that's far and few in between. I was like, oh yeah, you winning, bro.
hmm
So yeah, if you get them in some Airbnbs, that might be a hit.
I'll tell you one thing, because I'm with these pad splits, and I'm making like 6 bedroom houses, and then the next few I might do 7 bedrooms, might go to 8, depending on how big the house is, right? There's one particular one I'm looking at. It's like a upscale house, without a HOA, which is great,
Okay.
and but it automatically made me think I could put a vending machine in something like that because people work in double shifts. They get home, whatever, and hey, man, they get the munchies. Some of some of my clients get the munchies quite often. Uh, so to have a vending machine there that can get them a soda and get them, some chips or some M&Ms or something like that, that
Mhm.
might be a easy way to make a little bit more income.
Honestly, I think it'd be a great idea for all your past lists if you think about it. Because if you're already saying they have access to the living room, but they barely use it. If you had one in the living room, bro, like, hey, they want a late night snack, they don't feel like leaving or getting up, they can go pop some popcorn out the vending machine or whatever, and then you ain't got to inventory nothing because the vending machine, you know what's low and what's not low,
hmm
and then everything now with vending machines is done digitally.
A lot of them don't have vehicles, so yeah, a lot of them don't
Ooh,
have vehicles.
that's
So
a
you
hit
have a vending machine in there because you're gonna Uber Eats stuff, man. You're gonna spend $50 for that value meal, right? You're gonna,
for
but you
real.
you have some stuff in there they can munch on, so trail mix and chips and sodas and whatever. But that might help. That might help. Well, help them out because they don't gotta hit up Uber Eats or whatever, or go, find a place to deliver something. But but yeah, that I just thought of that right now. That's a good idea because I'm actually running like miniature apartment complexes inside these houses.
Straight up. And what do you always see in an apartment complex? A vending machine in the office.
hmm
Now I have a question for you. You said something very interesting. You said they don't have vehicles. So like,
Not all of them. Some of them do.
not all, some do, or some don't. Now I
I'll
have
say
a
about
question.
50%. About 50%.
Wow, that's still a high,
I
especially in
know.
Texas. That's a high percentage of no vehicles in Texas. So like, I'm assuming there's a certain demographic because somebody does get the munchies. How has it been working now? And then because if they don't have vehicles, I would assume they're getting a lot of Uber Eats, all that stuff coming
Oh
to the
yeah,
house.
those deliveries
It
are happening
is
a lot, man. Those
really
deliveries. There's always like look at the camera. There's always someone dropping off some food,
dang, bro.
and
Yeah,
that's
vending machine.
expensive. That's expensive.
Oh, dude, I hate doing Uber Eats, bro. I'm gonna be real, like for real, bro. I mean, if you do Uber Eats, you like look at the bill, bro. You like, man, I could have just drove up there for this crap, bro. And then they have the nerve to ask you to leave a tip, like, bro, you bringing this was a tip, bro. Yeah, bro. Like,
That's
yeah, I was
expensive,
wondering,
bro.
cause yeah, I think you could, man. That's a market right there, like the vending machines for pad splits. That might be a hit, bro. Man, you should look into that.
I'm gonna look into it for real. This for real this time. I'm gonna look into it because it never really made sense out of an Airbnb too much. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because one person coming in, town to stay at Airbnb. Who knows if they're gonna buy something? Then I have to go check it and all that stuff. But a vending machine that I could like let sit for a while and then maybe have someone that I trust at the PadSplit go and take a photo for me. Hey, could you take a photo so I can see what I need to go restock and this and that, and then
Oh
I'll
no,
just
bro. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna hook you up with my boy Matt, the one who's doing six figures off of him. He'll tell you how to run it.
it'll
Yeah,
tell you automatically what's the levels.
straight up.
Oh,
You ain't got to
snap.
do none of that.
I'm gonna
So then
try.
you just know, you like, boom, okay, cool. It needs to be restocked here, here, and here. And plus, the guest more than likely will tell you.
Yeah. How much would one of those vending machines cost?
I got to get you in contact with him. He'll know. He knows it from A to Z.
I'll tell you at my job, at my
Okay.
day job, what's the biggest hit in those things is those damn
Parks.
the monster drinks, those
Oh,
energy
all day.
drinks. People
Yeah.
are drinking those things all
Man.
day long, man.
Yeah. Energy, monsters and Celsiuses. Yeah, bro. Those hit all day, bro. Especially after lunch, after everybody had their morning coffee. Yeah, they go chuck down a monster after that.
Hey,
For real.
could I put some brewskis in there?
I wouldn't. Yeah, it would be
It's
nice,
all
but I
grown
wouldn't.
ups, right? It's all grown ups.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't, because now you're starting to look at liquor license and everything else. But yeah, bro, like Monster energy drinks. I don't know. I don't know, because the Monster thing, you're more or less looking like in corporate where people are working. It might still work, but yeah, I would more or less target like snacks and sodas.
hmm
That'd be your hit right there. Or go even further, if this is kind of going a little bit too far, but have you ever seen those Parks vending stations called
Um,
Parks
I think. Oh yeah, yeah. It's
with
like
the cameras?
yeah, you
Yeah,
just grab what you. Yeah, yeah. You just grab
yeah.
and then pay right there.
Then you
Yeah.
pay. Yeah, that might be a hit, because then you know like what's the inventory, and it has. I don't know about a
Mm,
camera in your living
I
room
don't know
though.
about that,
Yeah,
man.
no, yeah. But it's just, we're just throwing out ideas. You know what I'm saying? So like, the camera in the living room thing might get a little
I don't
iffy,
want.
but
Yeah, I don't want to be evicting folks for some Cheetos, man.
yeah, yeah, for real. But like, no. Cheetos you would put in the vending machine. Like your parks, the new ones, you have your vending stuff, but at the same time you have like the frozen stuff, like those frozen Red Baron pizzas. And then they scan it,
Oh,
like, they might steal it, but I don't know. You should try it. And then they like pizzas and stuff,
uh-huh.
then they ain't Uber eating that, because then that's like a meal they can fill themselves up with. They
Now, I did hear one thing that you
okay.
mentioned the frozen pizzas. I
Yeah.
heard I had a professor back in
Mm,
college, and he was entrepreneur kind of class, and
yeah.
he had vending machines, and he
Okay.
said now once you start getting into sandwiches or foods like that, that's when you bring in the people that the health inspectors have to come out and
Yeah.
stuff. So if
Yeah.
you stick to like chips and sodas and stuff that's
Yeah.
packaged, you don't have to worry about the food inspectors. But
That's a
once you
fact.
get into like, yeah, stuff that can expire and make someone sick, then that's a
Yeah.
different. I mean, you can make money doing it, of course, but
It's more systems.
yeah, it's more getting people in that house that I don't want in that house.
Yeah. See, and also, and that goes back to demographic too. Like, what I'm saying? When you got like people, who might steal a pizza or something, you know what I mean? Plus,
Uh,
you have to now make sure it ain't expired. Because at my job, they have the parks, but everything's open, but you're on camera.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they
same.
see,
We have those at my job too. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then you have to badge in to even get into where it is. So they know who badged in. They know, you know what I'm saying? And plus, ain't nobody really going to steal up there. So, but like
That's what
they
I'm
have,
saying. You're a
yeah,
higher paid workforce like us.
yeah,
We're a, higher paid
yeah,
workforce, and they're probably not going to risk their job for some,
for a
whatever.
Doritos. You know what I mean?
But in a
For real.
bad split, who
Yeah, yeah.
knows.
I don't know if they'd risk an eviction for some Doritos, but you never know, bro. Hey, speaking of that, like they said this year was the most returns in Christmas history of people returning stuff so they could pay their mortgage and their rent. I was like, people are crazy, bro. Like,
Mm.
I ain't that crazy about Christmas, like to where I teach my kids, hey man, we ain't gonna have no lights, water, and gas for some presents under the tree. Man, hell no, bro. Like that ain't the move, man. Like, and I'm gonna be real. This year for Christmas, what I did with my kids, like especially my older one, Malachi's 10, I said, hey, bro, tell me what you want. I'll budget it out. I was like, I'll give you, and he asked for one big item that was like $300. I said, look, I'll buy that for you, but you ain't getting nothing else. And that's how I did Christmas. And it worked like that. His grandparents bought him stuff. That's fine,
Yeah.
but we ain't about to go crazy. Like, that's insane, man. People be risking everything and can't pay their mortgage. Like, bro, you gonna have lights, water, gas, get evicted for Christmas?
Oh
Man,
yeah.
nah, bro.
That's
It's It happens though. It's crazy though, man.
That's been happening, man. Sadly,
Yeah,
folks want to give their kids a good Christmas, and
that's a fact.
yeah, and they don't put it on credit cards and stuff like that. But yeah, man, you gotta. I want to get rid of so many of my kids' toys. There's so many toys, man.
Bro,
Every
yeah.
birthday, every Christmas, I feel like telling
Yeah.
people, no more, don't, just gift cards,
Stop.
man. Something. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Uh,
bro. I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. Because you got two girls. I got one, and my daughter, man, stuff everywhere, bro. I'm like, dang, come on. But
I was gonna, I was thinking about it, and I said, hey, we're still podcasting today, 5:30. You said, yeah, I'm headed home. We got a little good traffic to contend with, and I was like, cool, man. And I started thinking, I said, hey, traffic, you quit your job already, traffic. And you said, oh, you need to get some more houses or some more
yeah,
doors, right?
yeah.
I started thinking about it. I was like, all right, check this out. I know there's you're following a formula and all that stuff, and that's great, right? And then a lot of people, oh, once I do this, I'll do this.
Hmm.
But what would happen? Let's just say you got fired today. For whatever reason, you got fired today.
Hmm.
What steps would you take to to fortify your income, to fortify your income and grow your income like immediately?
Immediately, use all my AI skills and put them to use.
In what way?
I'd be able to apply for a job in a minute because that's all I do is AI. I know how to do AI prompt engineering. I've invested enough skills to where I could immediately, and plus I already have income coming in, but I'd be looking for an AI job. I almost applied to one yesterday because I saw it. I was like, it's what I do, but it's AI based for network engineering. I was like, dang, but I didn't apply for it.
Why not?
It's hard to find good management, and my job has good management. I always say, don't chase money, chase good management.
Okay.
And that's why. And I could have applied for it just to see, but we're in the middle of some stuff that I'm really enjoying, like this data center stuff we're doing. I'm really enjoying it. Um, but yeah, that's what I'd be because like that's why, and it's funny, and this is for everybody. If you're working a 9 to 5 and you have a plan with your real estate and stuff, still be honing in on skills that can help you outside of your job and that can help you on the next job. Like my AI skills have helped me in my business and helped me on my job. So, like, that's the biggest
Win-win.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Win win.
Win-win. So that, I mean, that's so cool that you automatically knew what you would do. you
Hmm.
know? And a lot of people out there, if they do get fired, and people do get fired all the time, right? Or
Yeah.
laid off or whatever the job's going through, the economy's going through, and they don't have a plan B. And that's
Yep.
when it's just like it's hell. And
Yeah.
I told you, I brought it up on the episode that my brother went through that,
Yeah.
and he's never been without a job since he was like, 15 kind of deal.
Yeah.
And he they laid him off. This happened last year. Yeah, this happened last year. A
Mhm.
job that he had for a while, and all of a sudden he didn't know what he always talked about. Oh, I want to maybe do my own business like you're doing, stuff like that. But he didn't ever had a backup plan because people get complacent, and then after work you're busy and you just really don't think about it. And but it's kind of like I wouldn't say too late, but it's kind of hard to like, oh shit, they fired me today. I'm coming home
Yep.
with a box in my hand. What do I do? And then you just start panic mode, and then a lot of people will just take whatever they can get. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? They're just like, oh crap, whatever, I'll go work fast food. I don't care. I need to get this income back rolling. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to get 100% from the government. You're going to get like what 30% or whatever
Yep.
the percentage is of what your pay
Hmm.
was. While if you get an unemployment. Um, but but nobody, most people don't have a backup plan.
Yeah.
They're 100% reliant on that job.
Oof.
and
This is
and
tough.
and it is tough, and of course what we preach on this show is start accumulating assets, start getting rental properties, and start having, we call it a side hustle. It turned into my main
Yeah.
hustle now. It's my main thing I do. And so if I wouldn't even, I'd almost be happy if they fired me or laid me off. It's to that
Yeah.
point. But
Yeah.
I've put in the work to build something.
Yeah.
you know. And I think everybody should do that, or at least have, like you said, like a plan B in case something goes down.
I 100% agree with you, bro. And I'm gonna tell you, like this year, everybody's getting big tax returns under Trump. With the big beautiful. Well, the people who do what we do, we're getting big
Yeah,
tax
yeah,
returns.
yeah,
So, and I tell people, I was talking to a young guy at my job, and he came and he was like, I think I told you before. I talked to him twice. The first time, he was complaining about, hey, he wants a raise. And I was like, hey, man, I put a good word in for you. And he goes, yeah, but, it's never the right people that want to put the good word in. I'm like, I know, but just keep your head up, And I was telling him, because he's young, he doesn't want kids, and he's married. So I'm like, hold on, you're dual income, no kids? I'm like, and he has a house. He owns a house. I'm like, bro, I'd go sell the house, go beat me a duplex or a fourplex, live in one of them, rent out the other three. If you ain't had no kids, I mean, that's the good life right there. I mean, for me, that's how my mind's thinking. I'm like,
right,
yo,
right.
you can go buy. I was like, bro, I'd do the 4-3-2-1 method. Go buy a fourplex for the first year, put 3.5% down, live in it for a year. You ain't paying no mortgage or nothing. Next year, go buy a triplex. Next year, buy a duplex. The next year, buy your dream home. Now you walk into your dream home with what, 9 doors?
Hmm.
Yeah, not 8, 9 doors,
Hmm.
bro. And then pay them off. You ain't gonna be asking them for a raise. You got your own raise, but you
Hmm.
have the opportunity to do it. But everything comes down to mindset, and therefore you cannot change a person's mindset. You can spark it. Now he came to my office again. He was like, hey, can you tell me about how to get a HELOC again? So it's starting to spark, it's starting to spark.
Yeah.
So I tell people, you can spark someone's mentality. Always keep that mentality of helping the next man. But yeah, you can change people, but in that crisis, when you're in that crisis mode, like you said, you take the first thing coming. It's because you're operating out of scarcity and not out of
Mm,
abundance.
right,
Yeah. You're forced to operate out of scarcity, bro. That's a bad place to be in.
right,
You know?
right. And that's what we tell people, the what's it called, financial independence,
Goodness.
retire early or whatever.
Yeah.
And most people think, yeah, just as soon as I get to this point, I'm just gonna quit and just sit on the beach, drinking mimosas or whatever the hell. Uh, but it ain't about that. And a lot of people, the shows that we listen to, they talk about, no, it gives you the freedom to choose to work, to do some kind of work that you want to do. If you want to keep, mostly because most people don't just fire and retire, whatever.
Mhm.
They go and say, oh, I could work for this, giant corporate whatever machine, or I can go work for this startup that seems pretty cool and in AI or stuff I want to do. I could choose that job because I'm already set. I already got the money in place and I'm good. So I could take a chance on something like this. And
Yep.
then hey, maybe that thing that you took a chance on will skyrocket and you're all millionaires because they go IPO and all that stuff, It just gives you the
Man.
freedom to choose what you want to do.
Man, my mentor says exactly that. He says the reason why I teach this is so you can have freedom, option, and choice. That's all you want for your life is freedom, option, and choice. Because at the end of the day, like how you just said, you were on that 2 week vacation, right? But you were like, after a while, you're like, dang, bro, I'm ready to go home. It's because what happens is, and Brandon Turner talked about this because he said he backpacked across Europe for a year and he was miserable. He said, because you're not acting out your passion, you're not living your purpose. Even if
Mm,
you get all the money in the world, but you don't have purpose and passion behind it, it ain't gonna do nothing for you. That's why I think even going into how we were just talking about starting something for yourself, when you're doing these things, you start to find yourself. Like you start to find out things you're good at that you never knew and find out something that you be like, dang, I'm good at this and I actually love and enjoy doing it. And it puts you on a different trajectory. So, cause it ain't all about vacations and stuff. Cause like you said, that gets draining, man. After a week, you're trying to come home, lay in your own bed, man. You ain't trying to be living on no suitcase and living on and sleeping on your homeboy's couch for a week with your family or, have somebody else's bedroom. So it is, man. It gives you that passion, purpose, all that. It comes from just trying different things. And then once you try something and you stick to something and you'll start learning different avenues. Like this AI thing came out of nowhere. And I was like, dang, man, it's pretty cool. And I just took advantage of it, you know?
mhm.
Yeah.
And about to the vacation thing, it was 2 weeks there in a hotel room too. That hotel room gets small, man. I was thinking, man, I love the hotel for a few days. It's cool, but I need me an Airbnb. I need me a house. I need to rent me a
Yeah.
house if I'm gonna be down here. And then, the mother-in-law's house is super small, little two-bedroom, like
Oh,
smaller than my living room kind of deal. So yeah, it's just that's how they live over there. But that led me to, okay, we're going back in March because we got to do some of these like we got to do a couple classes so we can baptize our son in the Catholic
okay.
Church kind of deal.
Awesome.
So we're going back in March, and so I said, listen, I'm gonna look up an Airbnb, and I just started looking. All of a sudden, I saw this one. It was a house, right?
Yeah.
And it was it's like 4 bedrooms, and it has a pool. You got your own pool. It's got a lush garden. I mean, this huge place, right? And I was like, dude, first of all, I want something like that in Mexico.
Hmm.
And I looked, and this is like this company is called, Stays by Sarah or something like that,
Hmm.
and they have like two of them there close to where her mom lives, out there,
Okay.
where there's land, and then they got a couple of them in the downtown area of Guadalajara, and they're
Okay.
like nice. They're building out these big, nice houses with multiple rooms. You got like a pizza oven outside, you got a grill out. I mean, it's really nice, right? For a decent price, and I was like, I want something like this, and I told the guy, I was like, this is cool. I'm gonna rent it from you for this week, but I want to sit down and talk to you when I get there about how I can get something like this,
Yeah.
and I can invest in something like this and have something, either all of it or a piece of it for ourselves, and then whenever we come to town, we'll have something, and then it'll make money when we're not there. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I'm used to that. Us entrepreneurs are used to trying to, we don't want to pay we don't want to pay nothing out unless we're gonna get something back, right? And,
Straight up.
and I was even thinking about, every time I go, I'm renting a van while I'm
Mm.
there, right? And it costs a
Yeah.
lot of money in Mexico to rent something, right? And so I was like, I'm already asking the guys, hey, do you got any vans for sale? I might just buy one. And then I said, well, your sister's at the house, or your dad's at the house. They can do Uber while we're not there, and the van's making us money. I'm already, once you start twisting your mind like this, you start thinking, man, there's not just everything, every liability. No, no, you look at things that are assets that are gonna make you money.
Sir. They're straight up, man. And how you're talking about this, you're making me think because like we decided we're gonna go back to Oregon every year for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, dang, we got all the connections up there. We could just buy a little property, either between Portland and Salem, have a little Airbnb because we have friends with Airbnbs out there, but we weren't able to use them this year, and have them because it's the same situation. Like you said, like we want to stay at my mahogany's grandma's house, but the house is a little smaller. We have kids over,
Mm,
it's just like, but then,
hmm
we got saved this time. Our uncle had a spot, but yeah, it's something you can think about, hey, let's see if we can make an opportunity out of it, let's get a house down there or something. We can Airbnb. Heck, that'll pay for our trip to Mexico every time we go. You
hmm
know, so it is. You have to just think about things in different ways. But trying stuff, that's what gets that mind to clicking, so you can start seeing opportunities. Straight up.
That is true, and trying stuff. And one thing, I'm gonna go check out this high-end house not too far from me,
Yeah.
and it's not too far from the airport, and it's like a 5 bedroom, 4 baths, big house, and about 550K, man. But and they're
Really.
offering seller finance. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
So I can get in with a down payment around 50. And which ain't bad for a house that big and all that stuff. It's a nice neighborhood. It don't have a HOA, which is great. But what I'm thinking of doing is making it more like either a higher end pad split, or like a kind of crash pad where where the pilots and flight attendants and stuff like that will stay. And so I don't have experience in higher end pad
That's what I was
split
gonna
or higher
ask
end
you.
or crash pads, but I'm down to try. I'm down to try
Yeah.
stuff like that,
I I was gonna ask you because we know the demographic of pad splits. Would it be a higher end pad split or just more heads and beds?
That's a good question. I'm already leaning
Yeah.
towards crash pad. I'm already leaning towards
Oh,
because
okay.
because crash pads, they'll put two bunks, in the rooms. They call them cold beds and warm beds, something like that, right?
Mhm.
Where a cold bed is I might have it backwards, but a lot of people that work at the airport, they commute. They live in New
Mhm.
York, they live in Cali, they live whatever, but they're stationed out of here, so they would
Yeah.
just want a place to lay their head while they're flying back and forth to their
Mm,
house, right? They're
makes
they're not
sense.
they're not there all the time. Some people want a spot that okay, this is my spot. I'm gonna pay monthly. I'm gonna stay there all month. Some people just
Right.
want, okay, is there a bed available? I'm just gonna hop in that bed and use it for that night, and then fly back out the next day. So it's a different deal, right?
Okay.
And it's something I mean, I've been working for the airline all my life, right? So
Yeah.
why not learn how to do this? And this is a nice house, and it's close to the airport. It checks all the boxes. It's higher end, and I'm gonna go check it out tomorrow. I might go ahead and pull the trigger and try it, you know. And the good thing is there's no HOA there for them to tell me what to do, stuff like that. But yeah, I might try the crash pad route with that one.
Yeah. See, and what you just did go ties right back into what I just said about AI. You've been working for the airport, the airline industry your whole life. You know how to service a crash pad. You haven't done it, but you know the logistics of it. And you know what I'm saying? Doing stuff, it all ties back. You know, now you have certain other value outside of just being the airport. The airport let you go today. Heck, you said you're happy about it. And now you know you still probably got some connections in there. Hey man, you got any nurses, pilots, whatever need a place? I got them.
Hmm.
You know, that's power, bro. Power in that. Straight up.
Because that's the thing. Because I have a mid cities PadSplit over here, not too
Hmm.
far from the airport, and I get inquiries from Furnish Finder from pilots and stuff, right? But
Oh, okay.
it's completely full, so I don't have any rooms available there. But I still have, you know, one of my PadSplit rooms up on Furnish Finder. And a cool thing, and you know, and I still get inquiries for that place. But anyways, a cool thing about Furnish Finder that I just learned from Justin King, who was on the show talking about PadSplit. He works for PadSplit. He said they're about to start an integration with PadSplit. The
With Furnish Finder.
Furnish
Ooh.
Finder is going to start an integration with PadSplit.
I could see that being a perfect opportunity because I honestly think that is where Furnish Finder's target market
Mm,
is on PadSplit.
yep. We've been
I think it
complaining
is.
about their cheapskates for years, right?
Yep. And that was the answer to it right there. That is the answer to it.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing, because like
Okay.
we've been suspended a few times because of sharing links outside of Furnish Finder, and they've
Ooh.
been cracking down on us, and they've suspended us a few times. This last time we got suspended, they lifted it pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, why don't they just work with PadSplit? You know, otherwise PadSplit's gonna take all of their market share. And
Yeah.
apparently they got the word out, so now they're gonna work together. So it's gonna be a lot better for us. We're not gonna be suspended for sharing a PadSplit link or whatever the
Yeah.
hell, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. Integration always wins, bro.
So
Integrations
get you
always
a
wins.
PadSplit.
Straight up. Yeah. Integration always wins. I have been saying like I just paid the little 200 for one of my listings. And I was like, and I'm like, I hope this ain't a waste of money putting it on Furnish Finder. I'm like, man, I hope this ain't a waste, but we did it anyway. So we're waiting to get some hits on that because yeah, bro, I was just like, this is just straight up for cheap people who need a pad split to live in at this point. Like people hitting you up for a whole 3 bedroom house for 1,100 a month. Like, bro, get out of here. So you know, pad
Stupid.
splits
Yeah.
the yeah, pad splits definitely the way for that.
There is one thing that I've come across. Now,
Okay.
I'll say most of the people on Furnish Finder that are traveling by themselves, just one person.
Okay.
They need a room for one person.
Hmm.
But every now and then, there's a couple that travel
Hmm.
together. You know what I'm saying? But I can't house them at my pad splits because my rules at my pad split is one person per room. You know, and that's but I need to check this out because if I do maybe like a higher end or some kind of other type of path split or something where I'm renting to you know pilots or flight attendants or employees from the airport, maybe I can do something where I can do a room where two people can stay.
Yeah, you know what them pilots like their flight attendants.
Yeah, yeah, they ain't trying to bring their wife with them on those trips. Oh, Dang.
Oh man, that's funny, man. So,
Damn.
hey, you know what's funny about that? So me and Mahogany, we went to the for New Year's. We got a room at the Sheridan, right?
Uh-huh.
Because we didn't want to drive. It's gonna be crazy driving back and forth. We got invited by a podcast listener, one of our Live Let Thrive fans, to come to
Cool.
his condo, Adisa. You
Oh,
know,
cool, cool.
he invited. He's like, "Hey, man, if you're in town, I'm having I'm having a little get together at my condo, downtown condo, 26th floor, perfect view of downtown. You can see the fireworks. Corner
Wow.
condo, badass condo, bro. Bought it for like, he got a killer deal on this condo. But anyway, we go down there And so when we were checking into the hotel, Mahogany was next to me. She goes, I have to see both your IDs, see last names or whatever. And I was just joking with her. I was like, yeah, she's my wife. Last names match. No funny business going on. She was like, oh, she goes, trust me, I have some of the worst stories. I've had wives coming here pissed off.
Oh man.
I was like, damn. Hey, that's where PadSplit comes in.
I know, right?
But yeah, man, it happens out here, man. People crazy. But yeah.
Now PadSplit on the DL, baby.
But yeah, PadSplit, I think that's a good integration. And I think, a crash pad too. If you're right by the airport, you know, them hotels be expensive as hell for them. I know they get a discount, but it ain't that much of a discount. And you get a whole, like you said, PadSplit, you get a whole kitchen, you get your room. Now I did have a question. That PadSplit, you said you can only do two people. Is that a PadSplit rule or your rule?
See, I thought, when I started this, that
Hmm.
was the rule. There was
Okay.
only one person per room.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you have the ability to allow two people per room. I'm gonna look that up because I mean I've heard stories that you can't discriminate kind of deal,
Hmm.
and I don't know if that has to do with how many people you can let in a room. But I do have I'll look that up. I just because I just thought of it about maybe I can let couples rent a room. I guess the only thing you worry about is they're bumping and grinding and someone next door is here. But
That's where I
that's
was going with it.
but there's a lot of apartments with thin walls too, right?
Yeah, but a house, man. If you're already getting Karens up in there complaining, you don't want to get them next to the two freaks next door, man. That can get bad.
Hey man, human nature. I always wondered at my pad splits if people are meeting in the hallways and
It
I
can
don't
happen.
know. I mean, it happens. I'm not there. I don't have cameras inside the house. I mean, it could happen, right? It's human
Yeah,
nature.
straight up. And I was wondering that too. Like, are you saying they're not allowed to bring people in, right?
They're not allowed to bring overnight guests. Once quiet hours start, you can't have people spending the night and stuff like that, right? And
Okay.
you have the cameras in the front of the house and back in the house kind of deal. You could see if you're on it all the time. But yeah, they can have guests during the daytime, but like overnight guests is not allowed.
Okay. So you would.
But if
So
they're
I
living
mean,
there, if they're all under the same roof, I mean, they can hop into the other person's room, I
yeah,
guess, and
yeah, yeah. If
hang
yeah, if they're
out.
allowed. I mean, yeah, it happens. And remember, that's when I went back to like, because I was wondering too, like, because you said you're doing males and females, because now you got to worry about like bathroom duties.
Mhm.
It can get messy, but it sounds like it's working out.
Man, I'll tell you, the times I've been to my pad splits, they've been really clean. They've been
Okay.
nice. I thought I was gonna have to like send a cleaner every month to go, make sure do like a deep clean or whatever. But every time I've been there, man, it's been clean.
Really? Yeah, that's good then. That's
Yeah,
good.
most people just hang out in their rooms. Most people just
Yeah.
hang out in their rooms. There was a guy, and I mentioned there was a gentleman that had health issues, and he would leave
Yeah.
Dookie on the seat and stuff like
Oof.
that. And we, we put in the notice to vacate, and he left. No problems.
Yeah.
But I had to send my guy out to go clean a few times because it wasn't fair for the rest of the house.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been great since he's been gone. You know.
How now, like, because I know you've had the issue with that guy, the issue with the Karen lady, and the issue with the crazy guy at the beginning. Now, like, if someone was just now starting to pad split, what would you say is the healthy like mix of people, or how do you screen like, hey, is this person going to be a good fit for the house? How would you do that? Or is it by pad split? Like, let's say a person with no reviews, like Airbnb. How are you screening them?
And I've gotten a few of them. The best gauge is to talk to them, because
Okay.
you get their phone number right away. Unlike Airbnb, you can't talk to them on the
Yeah.
phone, right?
Hmm.
But you get their phone number right away, and always schedule a call with them. See, so it goes like I mean, it goes by responsiveness. You send them a message. If they don't respond to it, I don't like that. That's already a bad sign, right? So as
Yeah.
soon as someone does an inquiry, I send them a message. Hey, how you doing? Tell me a little bit about yourself. And if they answer right away with a decent message, that's a good sign. And then say,
Yeah.
okay, can you do a phone call? And then you do a phone call and you give them a chat, and you get a lot from just talking to somebody on the phone, right?
Okay.
And I'll say this: I have a friend that's a agent.
Okay.
What's it called? Yeah, it's a real estate agent, and she uses this kind of software where they can, when because they tour houses, right, with strangers, and that's
Yeah.
dangerous for a lot of female
Right up.
agents. So they'll ask for the person's license and they get their phone number and they can look up like all the background on me or you or whoever, before they go on a tour with somebody. I'm having that my friend run these people that are inquiring. I'll send it to her and I say, hey,
Mm,
because you get 24 hours to approve or reject it, right?
okay.
An inquiry. And so I'll send it to her as, hey, when you get a chance, could you check this person out? And she'll send me all the stuff she finds. She's found like criminal stuff on their background, and it's not popping up for some reason on the PadSplit. It might be misdemeanors. Maybe they don't care about misdemeanors or something like that.
Mm,
So you'll find, yeah, if I find like an extensive criminal history, of course I'm going to deny him, right?
mhm.
Um, Evictions, I've never seen one on her on the stuff she sends me. I think she's doing more background checks, right?
Okay.
But PadSplit will tell you if someone's had an eviction.
Okay.
And so you get to, you just weigh it all together. And if someone had an eviction and it's like 5 years ago, I'm like, okay, is maybe and you talk to them, you say, yeah, man, I messed up. I was like 18 and I had to play, whatever their
Yeah.
story is, if it's compelling, and then say, hey, I got this job. I've been there 2 years. You got a steady
Yeah.
job. Oh, make sure they have a steady job because there've been a few inquiries where guys didn't have a job, and I
Oh,
haven't I haven't let those people in. But they're
yeah.
getting like some kind of unemployment deal going on or whatever. But I
Yeah.
just nah. Sorry, bro. So I haven't
Yeah. I
done
mean,
that.
honestly, yeah. You have
I
to
want to see
protect your
that I
asset.
want to see that they can afford the place, right?
Hmm.
And because PadSplit will say, hey, this person can afford to pay up to like $300 a week, which is good because if you're
1,200 a month.
charging,
Hell yeah.
yeah, because you're charging $700 a month, that means 369. They can afford like $1,200, so it gives a little buffer. Now it's right on the edge that you might have to consider that too if they can only afford to bear if they're only gonna barely make the rent. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
a transmission blows, then what's up? They're not going to pay you. So yeah, it's just all these factors. But I say the main thing is to talk to them on the phone. Just get
Yeah.
a good feel for them. If they sound all ghetto as shit, as shit,
Happens,
then
bro.
it's
Yeah.
okay, man. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm gonna check some things out. Then reject.
Hey,
Um,
that old school line. We'll give you a call.
I'll tell you this too. What's it called? Don't call them from. This is dumb. I've done this before. I learning by mistakes,
Oh,
right?
hold on.
I call
Okay.
them from my own cell phone. Hey, and then I'll get
Oh,
messages from, oh, I saw you rejected me, man. Anything I can do? You just get all these stupid messages. I'm like,
oh man.
so I always
Yeah.
call from your Google Voice or phone, business phone number. That
Call
was
from the burner.
a rookie mistake. That was a rookie mistake. So yeah, definitely don't call them from your personal cell phone because you don't want to get a pissed off person
Yeah.
harassing your phone. So yeah, just do your due diligence and talk to them and weigh all these different options and let it. Because I did there's a guy that's staying at one of my pad splits and he has one eviction. The rest of the people
Mhm.
I've stayed there, it doesn't show they have evictions, but he has one. But I talked to him, he was cool, and everything was
Yeah.
good. And of course, here's the thing: if they get a second eviction, they kicked off the PadSplit platform, right?
Oh.
PadSplit only lets people that have one eviction use the platform. Two evictions, you can't. You're kicked off. So that's kind of like it's kind of like your last stop. You know what I'm saying? You're like you can't get an apartment anymore because you got an eviction, right? You can't get a
Yeah.
house unless you BS and someone into getting their house. But if you can't even get a PadSplit anymore, that leaves you like in a hard spot, right?
Damn. Okay. Okay. Well, at least sounds like they putting forth some barriers. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then like, okay, so like, let's say they say this person can afford to pay 300 a week. That's like what 1,200 a month, right? Are you do I guess does that person see what your rent is before inquiring,
Oh yeah.
or
Yeah.
okay, okay, and 700 is the highest you've gone up to?
It's around 700. I'll say between 700 and $800 a month
Oh,
per
7 8.
room. Right,
Okay,
right around, depending on the big room or it's a small room, has a closet, don't have a closet. It's just the variables.
okay.
So I
Like
price
what?
them differently.
Now I have a question. Like, have you done like markets and seeing like what everybody else is charging around you?
Yeah, I'll do some market research.
It's
Not
like seven, 800, like the sweet spot.
Yeah, I'll say it's around the same price for the same area kind of deal. Like I said, there's some
Okay.
higher end ones that are charging over 200 bucks a week, and there's some that are charging 160. So it's just a big difference.
Reason why I ask is because if you notice, like on Furnish Finder, like this partnership with Furnish Finder might be a hit because I see a lot of them saying they'll do a shared room for 1100. I'll be like, damn, but I ain't got it to give. I got
Mhm.
three, but I was like, they willing to pay that, and they start going from Furnish Finder to PadSplit. That increases everybody's margins.
Because I'll tell you this, because like people have reached out for us, through Furnish Finder before,
Mhm.
and we tell them, hey man, we do have a room available here. If you it said, but here's our link also. If you don't like this room or it might not work out for you, whatever, go on PadSplit because the people are just learning about PadSplit. A lot of the
Yeah.
Furnish Finder people
Hmm.
are like, oh, I said, go on there and just search the area and just use my link and then, as a referral and then book whatever place you want. So I still get if he goes and looks at my PadSplit, signs up for PadSplit, looks at mine, but he like, "Oh, okay, let me look what else is in the area." I don't care because if he books something else, I get paid like 350 bucks. So I get like a referral fee. You know what I'm saying? If someone signs up through my link,
Oh, you're sending them through. You're sending them to PadSplit with the referral link.
right? I give him two
Oh, that's a
links.
hit.
Yeah, I give him a link
That's
to
a
my
hit.
place, and I say,
Yeah.
"Hey, if my place don't work out for you, I'm not offended, but just sign up through my link and then choose whatever and go and start looking around the city and find there's a bunch of different pad
Oh,
splits."
that's a hit. That's a
Yeah,
hit right
so
there.
they're great with the referrals. I remember in the early days, Airbnb was cool with referrals too, but they got stingy.
Man,
They like,
I got a bunch of free stays with the referrals, bro.
I know, right?
For real.
But PadSplit's doing the same thing. They pay out pretty good on referrals, man. And so I've been getting. Here's the thing. I've been getting a lot of people signing up for PadSplit through me
Okay.
and booking
That's
places.
good.
And so and that's cool because like I said, you're getting the referral fee and you're getting the word out and everything like that. That's why I was saying that man, Furnish Finder needs to watch out, man. They need to link up with these people instead of trying to being afraid of them and suspending our accounts and stuff because we're PadSplitters.
I wonder why. Remember, we had the CEO of Furnish Finder on, Brian Payne. I think he's handed off
Yeah,
the role to someone else. But I was
right.
wondering why they didn't make it like a booking site. Like PadSplit's a booking site, Airbnb is a booking site. I was wondering why they never did that. But
Hmm.
I know it costs
Yeah.
money, but just
Yeah, I don't. That's a good question, man. It's a whole different animal once you're doing
yeah,
becoming the place that people book through,
because it seems like they've signed themselves up to just be the middleman.
Yeah. That seems
But
like the easy route, right?
it is the easy route. But now it's like it seems like they're pushing you out of business because that target market you had, like when the pandemic hit, that target market was, them nurses was making money hand over fist. They'll pay whatever because they feel like they getting that stipend.
Hmm.
Now they ain't getting that no more. That target market's kind of dwindled down to like on the cheaper side. And then now you got pad split coming in. You know, that's like a learning lesson in business, man. You got to be innovative. Oh, you just muted.
Yeah.
Oh
Uh
yeah. Oh,
there.
my bad.
No, it's a big time, man.
Yeah.
So that what was I gonna say? I was moving right along. We got
Yeah.
a few other topics. We always get stuck on PadSplit, man. I
Yeah.
think
We do. It's good. It's good
you need to
stuff.
get one, man. You need to get one so we can talk more about this stuff.
I might. I'll see. I'll see. I'll
Just
see.
try one. Why not?
I would have to come to Texas for it. Texas has the market for it. Yeah, I won't want to be no pad split where I'm at. Like, nah, if it's I get bad. Not in Little Rock, man. Not in Little Rock, Arkansas, bro. I do not want no fast food down there. Hell no.
It'd be like the Dave Chappelle show, the real world in the hood, right?
Man. Real. Oh, he got a job? Let's rob his ass. Hell no, I ain't doing it. I have to send my cousins over there. Man, it won't be good. So yeah.
Damn. And
Yeah.
so let me give you my answer real quick because I like how you went and you already had a plan B in case you got fired or laid off or
Mhm.
whatever. And you jumped into like, okay, I'm gonna grab me another job real
Yeah.
quick, AI, and that's cool. But how I looked at it was I would go heavy on what I'm doing already on the entrepreneur side
Hmm.
because I would what's it called? I got a ton of knowledge and I talked, we got a ton of knowledge. And I talk to people all the time. We're like, oh, I just want to sit with you and learn what you're doing. How are you doing this? How are you buying these houses? How you doing? I'm just like, I don't know, man. I just, I'll talk to you. We'll hang out, whatever. I'll tell you what I know. But I would really, really, jump into how, okay. First off, I get fired today.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I got some money in place, but I want to pad it a little bit first. So I
Yeah.
might consider selling one of my houses just to have a nice chunk of change.
Hmm.
Just to have a nice chunk of change so I don't got to sweat, right? It's cool to have all your money tied up or a lot of money tied up in houses and investments and stuff like that. But it's good to have a nice pile of cash, right? So I
Hmm.
do that first. Make sure my cash is good, have a nice pile of cash there. And then what I would do is I would start, and this is a cool like thinking tool because I would start looking at, okay, how can I keep acquiring houses
Hmm.
or arbitrages or whatever, pad splits, how do I keep doing this without putting a penny of my own money in? The Grant Cardone method.
Oh. Hmm.
And so, because I already got people that are like, wow, how do you do that? That's cool. Let me know when you get another arbitrage. Let me know. Okay, I got people that want the knowledge in my head, right?
Yeah.
So I'll start putting I was gonna say PowerPoint, whatever, old school, right? I'll start putting the AI package together. This is what I
Yeah.
do, man. This is
Hmm.
I find a house, either fix it up or I furnish it and then I get it on all the sites, right? And I do
Hmm.
corporate and stuff like that. This is what I do. Here's a house I think that would work out for us. Here's the numbers. Would you like to invest in this house with me? We'll buy it, and then I'll run it and everything, and I'll get a piece of the equity. So I already changing my mind. And right now, I'm putting my own money into these houses to buy them and stuff like that, or putting my own money to arbitrage and pay all the furniture. But you notice the big dogs, they don't put any of their own money in the shit, right? The Grant Cardones and these big guys, right?
That's what they say.
Yeah. They use other people's money to
Yeah.
acquire assets. So Grant Cardone will buy this like multi-million dollar apartment complex with other people's money and he'll take a big nice $10 million paycheck for himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
And
not
then
give it back. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
and give
I'm
them.
joking, y'all.
Now I don't want to screw people like
Yeah.
that. But I would like to, if people are looking for opportunities, okay, I'll do all of the upfront work. I'll get this thing ready for you. I'll get it furnished, you know, and then we'll profit together. Or I'll
Yeah.
run it for you. You don't even have to run it. People like easy, right? People like easy. So I would really dive into figuring out how to do that without putting my own money into places. Since I don't got a job, I want to
Hmm.
still keep acquiring assets and still keep, getting equity in these things. And so yeah, it made me think maybe I should start doing that now, not just wait till I get fired.
I was going to question for you. What keeps you at your job?
It's a damn good
I
question.
I
Yeah.
know it keeps me, but yeah, what keeps you at your job?
Benefits is the big thing, right? Health
Insurance?
benefits, insurance. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Next question is this. I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole. Can you afford your same insurance if you didn't work?
I am talking to a dude about seeing pricing out what it would be if I paid it myself.
Okay. And then
The
the next
same
question.
type of insurance that I got now.
There you go. Same type. Now my question is this. What's your cash flow number per month?
My total cash flow?
Like what do you want per month? Hey, if I got this the rest of my month, this a month, rest of my life, I'm good.
Yeah, 20 grand a month.
How many doors you got?
Uh, well, you say with the ones I manage and all that stuff about
No, the
50.
ones you own.
The ones I own, 10 houses, 10
10
houses.
houses. Average rent in Texas in the DFW is about 2,500. Pay off your houses. It's no point to keep picking them up. If I can pay them off, I got 25,000 the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's how my mentor broke it down to me. He goes, after you pay those off, now that's when the freedom begins. Now you can do what the hell you want. He said he took all his money that was coming in. Hey, I can go take 10,000, put it in that project, put it in that apartment complex. And I own 10 houses outright. I'm the bank. I ain't got to ask nobody for shit. I'm the bank. 10 houses outright. You the bank. And you got money coming in. You can go, hey, I'm going to take this month, I'm going to take 10,000. I'm going to put it on this project. 10,000 on this project. Or I can just save it up every month and put it down. It's just all about your goals. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but yeah, it's just about your goals and just knowing your goal.
So once you get that 10 houses, because I heard you talk about the Thatch Nguyen method.
Yeah.
Once you get that 10 houses, you're based, you're set for life, whatever. Then you're cool with taking loans after that to buy houses, right?
Mm-hmm. Or let's say one of the 10 houses, you can 1031 it up. You might be like, hey, I got one of these houses, but dang, I could get the same cash flow off this house if I 1031'd it into this 10 unit over here. Now you're in a different, now you moved from personal to commercial, and now you're in a different system. Like, shout out to Adam Johnson. He paying his off. He just paid off 7 of them.
Yeah, he said he's
that cash flow is crazy. That's what I tell people. First thing my Thatch ever told me, you do not need that many damn houses. He goes, it's been sold to you. And him and his multi-millionaire friends showed, like, they were like, they get this number of doors, they cash flow however much cash flow they want, they pay the houses off. So you might be sitting on freedom right now. You just gotta, because if you just keep acquiring, it works, but you eventually want to have a low overhead, because the lower your overhead is, if the market crashes anything, you're good. My house is paid off. Yeah. Something to think about.
No, it is for real.
And then with you're in a better situation because you got that money coming in. That's just your guarantee. Plus, you got your management money coming in.
Yeah, that's another stream of income.
Yeah.
I will say this. And I'm personally, I'm not trying to pick up a bunch of arbitrages like before. And now I always heard, Sean Rasijic, our buddy from the show and stuff like that. He ain't about buying properties. He's about 100% arbitrage. Why spend all this money to buy something when you can just go rent an apartment, furnish it, and then make a bunch of money on Airbnb? That's his route, right? And we got into that ourselves, and I'm still in it. I still got arbitrages. And if something presents itself that I know I can make a pretty good spread on, I'll get it, right? But I, and I sent you the video too about how rich people have been doing it forever. They acquire assets, right?
Yeah.
And then they borrow against their assets to live, and they don't pay any taxes. So that's but if you ain't doing that, if you're just 100% arbitrages, you don't have any assets, you're getting hammered by the taxes, right? So to me, I'm looking at it like this. Okay, I want to find a way to buy a house instead of arbitrage it with as little money down as possible, even if I have to bring in an investor or something. And I'm gonna get all the benefits from the depreciation, from the tax benefits, and from the appreciation, from the place appreciating and building wealth, and then plus making the cash flow off of a short-term and mid-term rental. It's worth a lot more than just going and renting a house and doing it, because you're just going to get hammered in taxes. Plus, anything under 30 days, the city's going to hammer you in taxes too. Plus, the state wants a chunk of that hot tax too, right? So you're getting really, really hammered in taxes if you're doing it that way. Whereas if you're finding a way to buy these assets and do it, then you're actually building wealth.
Straight up. And you get the big tax benefits, bro. STR short-term rental tax loophole with the cost egg. That's what I talked about all last episode. That's why I'm buying one a year. Even if I got a 1031 one, I can go 1031 into a duplex. Now I got 2 units, and then once I hit the number of doors, paying them jokers off. Yeah, man, it's powerful when you buy it. It kills you in taxes with the arbitrage. That's one thing nobody talks about. Yeah, you're getting 8 with taxes. I mean, your tax write-offs, you can get, it limits your tax write-offs for sure. And, but But you saw the Trump that them just put in a new.
I was just gonna say
What are you
that.
talking? Which one were you
I
talking
was
about?
talking about the Blackstone thing. What were you talking about?
Okay, hold on. What Blackstone thing? And I'll talk about what I was talking about.
Trump wants it to make it where giant corporations can't snap up all the single family homes anymore.
Okay, I did see that.
Uh,
I did see that. My boy posted. My boy made a good comment. Me and him, we ain't liberal or we're not Democrat or Republican.
yeah.
He's like me. He goes at both parties. He was like, oh, now Trump want to step into this corporate races buying houses. He's like, damn Republicans, they just don't like it when their money's getting stepped on. I'm like, hey, it is what it is. But I'm like, I'm cool with it. But I know what you mean. But yeah, I did see that. I saw that, and then I saw the new personal loan deduction, the personal car loan deduction.
Oh
So
yeah.
they'll let you deduct the interest rate. So
Hmm. I saw
yeah,
that.
man. Yeah, so we got two cool little things. So I don't know how far he's gonna get with the corporations buying up the properties and stuff. We'll see.
I will say this. I've noticed the prices going up a lot on things on Amazon, things that I usually buy, they've been
Hmm.
going up quite a bit, man. Because at first, when he installed all those tariffs and stuff like that, the
Yeah,
companies had enough supply where they didn't have to hammer you right away. They could still sell it at decent prices. Now the prices are going way up, dude.
yeah.
Way up, almost double on some things that I used
Hey,
to buy. I
I'm
mean,
gonna
you
tell
put a
people.
150% tariff on Chinese goods. That's gonna come from somewhere.
Yeah, somebody gonna see it. You gonna see that price hike, but that comes up to us. If the certain things we buy, we writing that shit off.
Yeah.
Not only we writing it off, we doing because I always tell people when it comes to politics, I guess we're going down a little politic rabbit hole just a little bit. It comes to politics, especially when it comes to money. They're gonna put some things in place that, seem bad, but you have to learn how to go around them. You know what I'm saying? Like if the prices go up, okay, how do I save in taxes so I ain't got to pay taxes and keep all my money in my pocket?
Hmm.
You know?
But
And so they go ahead.
I'm not for the poor and middle class getting creamed by paying all these giant tariffs on everything, which is a tax. It's a big ass tax they're
Yeah,
paying. I don't like that because then they can't afford to buy, to rent from us and all that
yeah,
fun stuff and go on vacations. But it is going to be good for the PadSplit world because that's
yeah.
all they can afford in the future is to rent a room out of a damn house.
Sadly, I mean, that's why Brandon Turner's in it. He's like,
Yeah.
bro, we need affordable housing. That's the only way to do it because all we built, the American infrastructure of real estate was built out and not up. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? The only time you see up is downtown.
Hmm.
So you're somebody gonna have to rent out some houses and be single. I don't know about kids being born. We might have to, because that's the thing. Birth rates probably gonna start going down unless people about to be living with their family in a bad split. Oh,
Yeah.
but it's interesting stuff though. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
a lot of good tax stuff coming for y'all, everybody. So,
And the robots are taking all the jobs.
and they are. Did you see the one where the robots were delivering the medicine for the doctors and the nurses?
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, they taking the jobs, bro. Interesting enough, a guy who's a multimillionaire who always talks about the effects of AI, follow John Hope Bryant, y'all, on Instagram. Black dude, he sold his business for like 120 something million a few years back. And now he's teaching like financial literacy and stuff. But like he's going hard on showing people like the stuff that's going on in
Was
AI,
he on
bro.
our
It's
show?
no. I wish
Uh,
we could get him
there
on.
was
I'll
another
try to get
Hope
him on.
guy. There was another Hope guy, right?
Are you talking about Alvin Hope Johnson?
Oh, there you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, this dude, yeah, he started showing some AI stuff. I was like, damn, man, I'm happy I'm ramping up on my AI knowledge because it's coming, bro. Like they had they had like these how they set the hospital up. The medicine just gets delivered to them, whatever they need. The little like if they need their lunch tray, it's crazy, bro.
I
It's
got my
crazy.
I got my wife on Chat GPT now, and
Yeah, use it.
she's loving it because she was a Canva person. Oh, I'm gonna design this. I'm gonna
Oh,
print
bro.
this. I said, babe, just
ChatGPT
tell.
do it.
I said, well, because I'm getting her first arbitrage. I was like,
Mhm.
downtown Fort Worth arbitrage.
Yeah.
I'm getting her one. She always wanted one. I'm getting her one, and she's like, oh, I want to design, because doing a Western type deal. And goes, I want to design this like blue bonnet that's inside of a star, and this. I said, babe, tell ChatGPT. Don't go to Canva. And she did it, and it made this beautiful freaking star with the blue bonnets in it. Oh, I want to add a, what's it called? A ladybug, and it added a ladybug. And I'm like, babe, yeah. Canva, I'm sorry, your days are gone. Your days are numbered, Canva.
Oh no, bro. Canva's partnered with Chat GPT, bro.
Oh, yeah, they have their own AI. They
Yeah.
have their own AI. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You can touch it up. You can touch it up.
Bro, took a picture of this hallway, and I told Chat GPT because we needed to. We just needed an idea for Christmas. Chat GPT did that, and it gave us the idea, and then we just put up stuff after that, and it said, "Hey, if you want a backup option."
Dude,
I was like, "Dang, bro."
dude, my photographers that I use like to take all the pictures of the units, right?
Yeah.
I had them because they do some cool refreshes. You know, they
Mhm.
they just finished a refresh for me at like a Dallas condo that I got, and I said, hey, I'm gonna put together this my wife's arbitrage. Can y'all help with that? Yeah, my mom loves to do that, so we're gonna go over there tomorrow. You know, they're
Yeah.
excited. They like to do design too, right?
Yeah.
And so she's showing me. She went in there and snapped photos of all the apartment, right? And then
Yeah.
she's saying, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do." I mean, she's sending me from Chat GPT like a finished product. Like it's a holy crap! It looks like the
Beautiful,
Western
bro.
theme. Got the paintings. Are you like this paintings? I mean, just like it's unbelievable what it can do.
Straight up, man. I told on the last episode. I said I made a Chat GPT agent that's a CFO, and it goes through all my stuff and tells me where I need to cut back, where we should invest. Yeah, bro. Man, get on AI, bro. It's some crazy stuff, bro. It really is, man. Straight up. You can tell when to act as your marketing director.
Wow,
Straight up. Yeah, it's
man.
powerful.
Does it telling you to buy more Bitcoin?
No, I don't. Nah, it's all you can do that. A coworker of mine said his friend who does plumbing. He said he showed him a 50K account that he used to do stock day trading, but he has it run by Chat GPT.
Holy smokes!
I was like, damn. And you know me, I tried it. I just couldn't get Chat GPT to get around like all the security stuff. So I'm still working on that one. Once I get it to working, I'll let you know how it works out. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, man. So yeah, it's been a great episode, Myka.
It has, man.
Where can folks find us?
Find us on Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on YouTube, Live Let Thrive. Thank y'all for continuing to listen to us as well, man. We're happy we're able to continue to provide. Hopefully, it's some valuable content to you. And yeah, we are Myka and Steve, and we are out. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.